Ruined another fucking servo. How the fuck can I ruin another fucking servo? Yeah. Hello there.
Roger, roger.
So I am at this point now. This is me. So cute, right? I will just skip the part where I talk about this and then just get into the process where I will probably add voiceover because my friend's dad suggested that I should, and he doesn't have a point, or the video gets just boring and you lovely people just drop out in the first 30 seconds or a minute. So I will probably try adding and just stretching the shit out, right? Sorry, let's go. I'll just take you through the whole journey and shit whatever I said in the last video.
Here we go. Maximum effort.
So I found this piece of wood at a harmonium factory and they were really nice to give out the waste piece to me, which costed me nothing actually. That's why they are nice. Also now I am tracing my hand to obviously make a hand. You dum dums. So after tracing my hand on the piece of wood to actually make a hand, as you can see pretty obviously, I'm going to saw it now, which is going to be a lot of hell because all my tools are blunt and I'm too lazy, crazy and paranoid to get new ones. So watch me saw this piece of wood through hell, because why not? And I know you guys like to see other people suffer, especially me. So after cutting the palm, I am checking here that if it aesthetically looks good on the wrist, but anyway I don't have any choice because I spent a whole fucking day sawing off this piece of shit. Now at this point I have completed sawing of the palm and I'm using an 80 grit sandpaper to finish off and smoothen the edges out. So for the finger joints I'm going to be using hinges, and the ones I have are 1 inch thick. Actually I've asked around all hardwares near me and apparently 1 inch is the smallest size you can find in hinges. So I'm going to be using that because obviously I don't have a 3D printer and I just cut a wooden palm out. Soon it's going to be fingers. You're lucky that it's not your fingers I'm using for this hand. Also it's weird that the 1 inch is the smallest size among hinges and apparently it's going to be a problem for me because it's going to be really large compared to my original fingers. So this is what 5 hours of sawing and a lot of body ache and screwing shit together looks like. It is just a piece of the shitty palm and 3 separate small cubes of wood pieced together with hinges which apparently resemble the finger. So I got these rubber bands from a stationery store. These are 10 mm wide and about 3 mm thick. I'm using these because obviously a higher tensile strength, higher elasticity, and well, they look good. Okay, so after cutting this, I have assembled the index finger of course and made a test piece before fabricating the new fingers. So as I explained, this rubber band is for tension and grip reasons. Also if I show you the grip, it's pretty serious and this is the portion I want to adjust because for now this is the neutral position, but I want it to be somewhat like this. So polygon type, but yeah, that is what I would like as a neutral position for the hand because the fist, why not? As it would turn out, this asshole is going to scrap the whole idea and gonna go with the more conventional and already available in the market one, because first, he is a failure, second, he is an idiot, and third, he is incapable of any originality. Also, I'm pretty fucking tired. Yeah, that's my face after sawing a piece of wood for the whole day and then cleaning it up first. I just wanna die. Subscribe. So now after making the first test piece, I was quite happy with it, and then later on I started up with the thumb first, then the pinky finger, and then following the both of the middle fingers.
But then there was also the moment that I realized that I should scrap this whole idea of 5 fucking fingers and just went with 2, 3. Also, I forgot to record the installation of the rubber band on the back of the hand after I scrapped the original idea. And I think you all are smarter than me and are capable of deducing how I attached it. Also, I don't believe that you all would watch the video at this point, till this point. So, hee.
Bazinga!
Okay, so I cut the rubber bands in half and screwed the point A and point B of the rubber bands onto the hand I made. One piece goes onto the knuckles and another one extends to the finger. Also, I screwed in the rubber bands with washers to reinforce the rubber bands in the wood, of course, and also super glued it to the holes so that the rubber bands wouldn't come off easily. Then I bought this brake cable at a bicycle repair shop. It costed me around like $1 or $2. So now I'm going to be assembling the whole cable contraption thing inside the hand. I was actually going to use nylon threads or at least polystyrene or whatever the polymer is, but I thought using brake cables would be a much better choice. I don't know why did I think that, but yeah, I was so clueless that I didn't account the overall weight that would be added because I made this choice. So this is a subtle foreshadowing to what problems I'm going to face in the future because of the metal, the wood, and the steel brake cable I chose. But yeah, it does work pretty flawlessly. Then after testing the cable onto the fingers, I drilled a few more holes onto the palm to secure the cable sheath with some screws, and that's what I did. And after I did that, I also super glued the sheath onto the palm so that it doesn't come off, right? And it's ironic how whatever I do in this video seems to be working, but every fucking time I do something right, there is another problem just checking out my ass from the dark corner.
Finally, the palm is complete, and for now, I have connected 3 separate rings. For one is for the thumb, one is for the index finger, and another for the last one. And well, I've modeled this to represent the accuracy. Actually, I don't know, honestly, that was a pretty accidental output. I'll tell you the story behind this. It's been almost 2 to 3 days that I have been working on this, and as always, hurting myself in the process is mandatory. Yeah, the shape first of all. It was totally accidental. I had initially taught this twice of what it is now, but I had to loosen it up because this shitty cable would come in between, and yeah, but that's not a problem anymore, though I fear this might be a problem. Anyway, moving on, the index finger, and all together, oof, love this so much, so beautiful. Also, in the process of making this, I was initially going to include all 5 fingers, but then I thought, I'm not a fucking god. I don't need to make 5 fingers because I'm not making a human. I'm making a robot arm to replace my original existent one, or at least have a backup when something happens to this shit. So there was no point making 5 fingers and hurting my real 5 fingers in the process. And also, this reminds me of Ninja Turtles. As a kid, I always wanted a 3 finger hands. So who the fuck cares if my robot has 3 fingers or 5? It does this, bitch.
So I've set the servo to 0 degrees from my Arduino board, and that's because I wanted to drill 2 perpendicular holes to reinforce the hand onto the wrist. So here I am finally attaching the hand to the arm. Also, there was a guest in a house which was really annoying, and I made a mistake here for not changing the drill bit because this happened. I always fear if I would be injured or disfigured actually, but something Cam says reminds me of the situation.
If an accident does happen, I hope he kills me. Because I don't think I would be a very inspiring disabled person.
And now I have damaged the only servo that I had got, but then I found out that it was not metal gear, it was plastic, and I was scammed again.
Ruined another fucking servo. How the fuck can I ruin another fucking servo? Yeah.
And here I am trying to diagnose what is wrong with my servo, even though I got the metal gear one, and eventually I would find that I was scammed and that the MG995 did not at all have any metal gears inside except the one that is connected to the motor and the one that is poking out of the gearbox. Then I thought, maybe if I can replace the whole gear system from one servo motor to this one, maybe then I can use it. But it turns out both the servo motors that I had, in which the one was continuous one which was useless for this build, and this one, that the one I broke now, I would just exchange the gears inside, and it would turn out that both the fucking gear ratios in both the fucking servo motors were totally different. 2 different gear ratios for the motor of one same spec. Kudos. So I replaced the entire servo motor with a new one, which is MG996R.
Everything just works. Everything just works. Contact hardening just works. Contact hardening just works. The Umbra works. The Penumbra works. It just works. Everything just works.
Okay, so I've completed this, I showed you. Yeah, completed this, but there's one new problem. There's just too much weight here. So this servo, I had to assist with these 2 rubber bands to increase the pull, but now it doesn't go down unless it's assisted. So now I have to figure out a way to, well, pull this and push this, of course. Just when I come up with one fucking solution, another problem arises. Well, at least I fixed this. Also this aluminum strip, I forgot to mention. Yeah, I will be breaking stuff with this, so this is for that. chopping and shit. I was going to put on some aluminium knuckles here, but I think that's for another video, maybe. Also, this housing that I made is kinda useless now because this shit adds more weight. So yeah, it's useless, but I think this is useful, this mount. And yeah, you get the point. So now I gotta figure out what to do here. The video was supposed to be published today, that is Wednesday. I don't know what the date is, but I'm still stuck up on this. So okay, so after 3 to 4 days of just making this, the fist or hand or palm or whatever you call it in your language, English, okay, so this hand with the 3 fingers, which I thought midway cutting the fourth one that why did I fucking make it 1 inch thick in the first place. Then I remembered that the hinges don't go any smaller than 1 inch, and that the wood I'm using is used for making instruments. It is pretty tough, and I have blunt tools, yeah, really shitty tools, which are obviously very blunt. So I'm either just too lazy to go out and buy new tools, or too paranoid, or I'm just fucking crazy that I thought I could just keep going on and not sharp my axe to cut down the 1,000 tree, the 100,000, whatever the fuck the metaphor is. I think I'm just going to stop this third part of this hand right here and figure out what can I do for this servo motor, and then attach the 3 small MG90S servo motors that I showed you in the next video, because I'm crazy. I'm getting crazier day by day just by looking at this shit and crying in the corner because things don't work out the way you want it. And also that I've been watching Dr. House for the last 2 months. Bitch, don't judge me. I work on projects, and I'm not like your unemployed boyfriend because I'm single and lonely and fucking crazy person. So stop judging me. Also subscribe, and I think I will see you, no, I think you will see me in the next video, because I did not really get that phrase when other YouTubers say it. See you guys in the next one. How the fuck can the person recording the video see other people? Obviously it is the other way around. It just doesn't make any sense. I will go start editing because my life feels worthless when I don't do anything that gives me results. So this is where I thank you, because you've clearly watched the whole video at this point. I do appreciate it. So I was thinking I'd just say some random gibberish words and ask you for a follow-up in the next video so that you comment. And the word for today is this. Also, if you have enjoyed my content, enjoyed seeing me build stuff, you should watch this video, also this video, and don't forget to subscribe. Also like and share because that helps the algorithm, and comment if you have any stupid yet smart ideas which involve harming myself, not breaking laws, breaking some minor nobody cares laws. Yeah, that's all. Okay, I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Also watch me shave.